Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really cool. We're unpacking a highly specific, uniquely articulated theory on one of the universe's absolute most fundamental phenomena, how light is actually created. We're going to strictly examine the exact mechanics proposed in our source text, and we'll map out the whole journey from raw power to brilliant illumination. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive right into part one, the origin of light. Because, to understand any mechanical process, we really have to start at the very beginning.
So where does light actually come from? Honestly, it's probably the most fundamental question we can ask, right? Whether you're looking up in the night sky or just flipping a switch in a dark room. Now, the framework we're looking at today, it does not deal in ambiguities. It proposes a direct, absolutely definitive cause for the very existence of illumination.
When we think about the sheer scale of the cosmos, just blazing stars radiating out in space, it's completely overwhelming. But according to this specific theory, the mechanism behind all of that brilliance is rooted in just one primary force. The text states, plainly and emphatically, that the origin of light comes fundamentally from energy. That's it. Energy is the grand catalyst in this entire model. Without that initial massive presence of energy, well, the subsequent steps that create light, they simply cannot occur.
Moving on to part two, inside the atom. To really complete this equation, we've got to shift our perspective from that massive cosmic scale right down to the microscopic scale.
Now, what's really fascinating about this next point is the author claims that every single atom universally contains what are referred to as phosphoric elements. And crucially, they are located literally within the atoms. It's a highly specific mechanical view. So in this model, atoms aren't just empty space or, generic building blocks. They're actually vessels. They contain these highly reactive, specialized phosphoric components that are just sitting there, waiting for a trigger.
Which brings us to part three, the energy hit. This is exactly where we see the critical moment of interaction between our energy catalyst and our atomic target.
Let's see how this builds, because the text lays out a really clear step-by-step mechanism here. Step 1, energy physically hits the atom. Step 2, that hit forces those internal phosphoric elements we just talked about to react. And then step 3, as a direct result, light is emitted. Boom. Strike, reaction, emission. The energy strike basically acts as this precise trigger that awakens those phosphoric elements and compels them to actually produce the light.
And I absolutely love this next part, because the source text conveys this rule with incredible raw enthusiasm. You can practically feel the shouting through the all caps and punctuation straight from the author. The higher the energy hit, the more the light produced. It's so emphatic. This establishes a completely direct proportional relationship. The intensity of that energy strike perfectly dictates the volume of the resulting light. So weak hit, that means dim light, but a massive high energy impact, that yields a massive brilliant emission. The output is entirely 100% dependent on the power of the input.
Okay, part 4, frequency and output. We understand the volume now, sure, but what actually determines the exact nature of the light itself?
So the crucial takeaway here is how the text concludes its mechanical explanation. It states, and I quote, "Then the hit by energy frequency becomes light frequency." Think about that. It's a pure one-to-one transfer. The unique frequency of that incoming energy hit isn't lost. It's not jumbled up during the atomic reaction. Instead, it is directly converted. It literally becomes the frequency of the resulting light. The input's identity flawlessly shapes the output's identity.
Now it's always important to look at exactly where a highly specific framework like this comes from. The architect of this theoretical paragraph actually credits himself right in the text as discoverer, Professor George A. Georgopoulos. And that's exactly how the individual who formulated this really unique perspective on atomic structure, those phosphoric elements, and the whole energy-to-light conversion process presents his life's work.
And honestly, that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. We've just walked through a model that reduces the profound, almost overwhelming complexity of illumination into a straightforward, step-by-step mechanical sequence, right? Energy hits an atom, phosphorus elements react, and the frequency of the hit becomes the frequency of the light. It's just a fascinatingly streamlined view of physics. So, what do you think? Could the universe's light really be this simple? Or does this kind of mechanical simplicity point to even deeper mysteries just waiting to be unraveled? I really hope this explainer has sparked your curiosity about theoretical physics and how different thinkers out there visualize the mechanics of our entire cosmos. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today.